Hello, everyone. It says it's live. I'm just waiting for the secondary device. Hi, Nell. I am fine today. Hi, Sybil. It's just me again today. Peg has power again, which is very exciting, but she still doesn't have internet. So I don't know how long that's going to be. So you're stuck with me again for our live stream today. But I'm happy you guys are here. I hope some more people come. Still doing abstract. This is the last live stream for the abstract month, which we had all month of August 2020. And I still have a lot of prompts left that I didn't do yet. So I'm going to try to combine some of these prompts into one piece. But my main prompt is going to be pod, because I find that one very, very interesting. And so I want to make something that represents pod. And to me, a pod shape is something like this. This shape. I find it fascinating. I don't know if it's something, it seems feminine to me. Also, it seems kind of like birth and, you know, seeds and growth and stuff like that. And in our situations today, we need that type of energy. So that's what I'm going to focus on, is that type of shape. And then I'm going to work some of these other prompts into it. So I have I think it's a 12 by 12 wooden canvas to work on. This is wood, cradled wood. And I put a coat of white gesso on there. And that's what I'm going to work on. But I'm going to start with some of my other stuff. I did want to talk to you guys about color. And if you don't have one of these things, you probably should get one, because this will teach you a lot and will help you a lot. I've been using it quite a bit during this abstract process, because when you're doing abstract art, it's not a thing, right? It's not a picture of a tree or a picture of a cat. It's something that seems like something to the viewer that they can interpret, but yet isn't art that's been shoved down their throat, like something that's very realistic. So color plays a big factor into that. And you know, I'm a big fan of color. I want to say hi to some more people that are rolling in. Hi, Andrea, Peggy, Marie. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you guys are here with me today. So I was thinking about using blues and turquoises today. And I pulled out some papers, and these were what were appealing to me today, these type of colors. Because, you know, I like to do collage along with my pieces. I do very mixed media pieces with collage and paint and pen work and, you know, other stuff. So I was looking at these, and I was thinking these are kind of blue greens, right, on the wheel. And then I was looking at this piece of paper that has some of that blue green on it, but I have been hoarding this piece of paper. I just love it. It's a gel print with lots of different. Actually, I think it started out as a roll-off page, and then there's some stenciling, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, this color scheme really appeals to me right now. This whole thing. So then I was looking at the wheel, and I was like, well, what? I mean, I know these colors go together intuitively, but what if I wasn't someone who is intuitive about color, and I wondered why these colors are appealing? And so I looked at the wheel, and I was thinking about the blue-green, and I realized that this is probably going to be either a triadic color scheme with the blue-green, the yellow-orange, and the red-violet, or it could be a tetrad with yellow-green, which is, you know, this color was really appealing to me. That's yellow-green, and then we've got some blues in there too. But then if you go over here, you've got your blue-violet, which actually this piece of paper right here almost really, without the yellow orange, really is what I'm talking about. But I think mostly what I'm going to be using is these colors. So yellow green, blue violet, yellow orange, and red violet. And that is a tetradic color scheme. So even if you don't intuitively come up with this stuff on your own, and you're just picking out papers you want to collage with, and you're like, oh, I like these together, it will really give you an idea You know, here's your yellow, orange, and your red, violet together, right? And they look great. Those are great colors. So that's where I started this morning. I was also having trouble with technology and things, so I don't have like a huge big plan, but I do have a small plan with lots of different papers and things. So if you guys don't have one of these, go and pick it up on Amazon. There's a link. This is on my Amazon store. It's something that's very handy to have. Hi, Sandy. Sandy, I would do that if I had a store, but I don't. I need to set up a store. She's saying I should have DigiKits with some of my scanned papers. I need to set up an Etsy shop, and I started to do it, and then, oh, yeah. Okay, so we want to start with Hog. I'm gonna do some paper cutting, and I got this ginormous thing, which I wished it was smaller, and it's got some inks on it. How interesting. And I put a brand new blade on my X-Acto knife so that I could cut some papers that I want to use. And I think I'm going to start with this hoarded paper that I've been hoarding for ages. And I want these organic, flowy, feminine shapes. So I'm just going to start, and I'm just going to cut. And, you know, sometimes you just cut, right? I want everything to be very curvy today. I think I need to narrow this down right here a little bit. And then I'm going to bring this down. So that's a very curvy shape to me. And this one up here seems like that pod shape I was talking about. I don't like that. It looks like a tumor. Excised it. So that's the kind of shapes I'm going for. And I want to just continue this type of a flow with some of these other colors. Does that make sense? I hope so. So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to pick some other pieces of paper that I really like, and I'm going to try to cut them kind of along the same lines so that they fit together. So that one could be like that. Got to have a sharp blade for this. Welcome, Lindy. Hi, Barbara. So I like the way that one fits. I think I'm going to go with something else over here. Do I like that? Maybe. Don't need that much of it. We'll just cut it down. I think so that I can remember how this goes, I'm going to use just a little bit of glue to tack it together. Ooh, that side's pretty too. Look at that. Do I like that better? No, I don't. Oh, this is a bad stick. I need to get a different glue stick. This one needs to go in the trash. I'm going to grab a different one here. Here, you silly sticks. You got it. I did some cleaning, and it's really nice to have some cleaner spaces. However, sometimes it makes it hard to find what I had. Oops, that's not right. That doesn't seem right, does it? Is that what I wanted? Yeah, it is. Okay. just wasn't quite. I just want to tack these on so that they don't get away, and I can remember. A good little tip is if you lay out your stuff and you're really excited about how it looks, just to take a picture of it real quick before it goes away. However, my camera is being used to film, and so that's not really working right now for me to do that. So I'm just going to take the extra step of tacking some of them together before I collage them on. Even though it takes longer. I'm talking about bubbles. Sybil says the abstract theme is difficult. I find it super easy myself. I absolutely love it. I find it so easy to do. But that's just me. You know, I'm kind of like that. I like this pink color. This super bright fluorescent pink. I think it needs to be on here. Man. In my pod. So in the Art Joy sharing group, there was a really, really nice piece that someone had made. It wasn't really abstract as much, but for pod, they had drawn, they'd done like some ink drawing over, I think probably some prints, some gel prints, I'm not sure. But it was these cool looking seed pods that you might see in the fall. I don't know how to describe them other than they're kind of a cup flower shape with stuff on the top. I've seen it before. Look at Peggy's question. I've gotten bubbles pop up on my gel plate. Can somebody please tell me why, and is there anything I can do about it? You don't need to worry about it unless they're open. If they're holes, that's a problem. But if they're just bubbles, it doesn't make any difference. So you don't need to really fix it. So let us know. No, that doesn't really work. Let's put it this way. This is getting pretty interesting. I think I'm going to probably have to glue it down soon and then just keep building from there. Because I don't want to glue it all together on here. I just wanted to tack it together so that it doesn't get weird. And I don't forget what I was doing. This is a really cool piece too. I really like that one. I like them all. But I want to make another something here that I can put on there. I'm just interested in this shape, this pod-like shape. Fascinates me. I don't know why. Do you guys have shapes that you enjoy that just say something to you and you want to duplicate them all the time and you're kind of fascinated with them? Because I do. I definitely do. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's kind of cool. Let's start doing some collage work here. So Peggy, if you really need some clarification about what's going on with your gel plate, I have a lot of things I could say. And you can just email me or DM me on Facebook, and I'll explain to you more about that. Because it could just be what you are using as your base. Things like that. Nell says she's into triangles and pinwheels. Those are both really great ones. I agree. This piece is going to be big and difficult to glue down, but we will get there. I think it's going kind of this direction. So let's just get some glue down here. I've got glue on the back. I've got glue on the board. And I'm going to try to lay it down here and then smooth it out with a smoother. You could also use a credit card or a hotel key card for this. You don't have to have one of these store-bought ones. I think probably my favorite shape is actually spiral. I just love spirals. It's weird, I know, but I don't know why. Something about the inclusion and the never-endingness of them. They could just go around and around and around forever. I love that. I like circles a lot. And sometimes I really get into this whole like grid thing where everything is very orderly and stacked on top of itself in a very orderly fashion, and nothing gets out of place. I think that's a control freak thing, and sometimes I really get into that. I'm not sure why. Like the shapes don't have to be perfect, but the order has to be perfect, or at least orderly, I guess. I'm not sure what I mean exactly. It's just this grid thing. Okay, I've got that one down. Then I wanted to put this one somewhere. I wanted it to join in the fun. I think it needs to be a little bit smaller. What happened to my knife? What do I want? I just want to make it a little bit more something else. Yeah, I like that better. Needed to come down a little bit. This one looks more like a plant, which is also interesting. I do love plants. Lindy says she apparently is into Paris because she likes the Eiffel Tower shape and the fleur-de-lis shape, which is a very interesting. Also New Orleans, a lot of fleur-de-lis in New Orleans area because of the French influence there. Also, that shape was used a lot when there was kings and people like that, kings and queens back in the day, not in the United States, but in other places. I feel like I have a bubble. Do I have a bubble? Or is it just my imagination? It might be one. I don't know. I feel like this paper is going to act up and be a jerk. Pressing really hard with the brush to try to get it all stuck down, and then I'll go over it with this to make sure. Oops, I keep messing up that section right there. And sometimes I even just take a moist baby wipe because some of this, whatever medium is on these, who knows at this point. I might sometimes get a little yuck on there. Okay, that's looking pretty good, but I want to build up over here. I want some more action over here. So I wanted to bring in a little bit of this purple violet, red violet. So we'll just cut this guy in half and bring in some more of this type of color. Maybe in a couple places. So another thing about abstract that makes it interesting, I mean, there aren't so many rules per se, but things that you should think about when you're doing abstract art would be the contrast between things that are opposite. So thick lines versus thin lines, or like a square versus a circle. Things that are opposite, things that that oppose each other, make something that you're making interesting. So I've got these fat pod shapes, I've got thinner shapes, and I'm going to have even thinner ones. And the thin will show up and be interesting because it's opposing the fat and vice versa. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making myself understood very well, but I know what I'm talking about. No. Like if you came up along there and then you crossed and went over there, would you be interesting? Flowy. We got to be flowy. There's nothing under there for it to stick to. Yes, Barbara, contrasting shapes. If you're going to make a shape on your abstract piece, either make a big one and a small one, or make a shape that is opposite. Like make something, if you got something very angular, make something curvy. It's just kind of a way to go about it. I think I need some really dark darks in here, so I'm going to bring in this guy. Come here. And then we'll probably move on to some. There, oh, I like that. See how that made such a huge difference? Bringing in that dark color. This is all kind of tonal. And then when you bring in something dark to contrast with it, it's just like, oh, there it is. Boom. Right? Get in there. Get in there the way you were laying down so nicely, looking so pretty, and now you don't want to fit. I think I'm going to need some more of that. That is super cool. Super cool. Get another piece so we can have some more flowy over here. So has anybody else joined us that I haven't said hi to yet? Not sure. It's hard to keep my eyes on things. Ooh, I like it there, actually. That was an accident, but I really like it. Ooh, a bubble. Hey, no bubbles allowed. So you guys probably know the glue I'm using is Liquitex Matte Gel Medium. It's thick enough that I can just put it on there and press these things down and they don't come back up. And I want something inside here. I'm not sure exactly what yet. Ooh, maybe some of this. Yeah. That's a really pretty piece of paper right there. It's pretty. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. I gotta look. Welcome, Rennie. You see she showed up. Like that one kind of reminds me of a calla lily when I put that in there. It's not exactly what I was going for. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Peggy says I have a cobra. She thinks I should put eyes on it. It won't be a cobra when I'm done. But it does have that shape for sure. All right, what else do we have here that we can put in? Well, that's already cut. Oh, that looks nice. This paper is thicker. It's mixed media paper, and so it becomes harder to glue down, especially because I didn't spritz it or anything. I still have these dumb bubbles right there. These did not have a flat end. There we go. Welcome, Becky. Where did I have that? This way. Yeah. It's a very similar color. And it to go over the edge. All right. So far, so good. I think I'm going to move on from collage for a bit and do some acrylic. I'll put these guys aside, and then I'll probably come back maybe with more collage. We'll just see how this builds up. But for now, I'm just going to move. Ew. Dang it. How dare you? How dare you have a bubble? Stop it. paper. Wrinkles and bubbles not allowed. And apparently breaks because it's stuck to my finger. Oh, come on. I'll just do that for now and I'll fix it later. I don't have time for that nonsense. Other than that, everything seems pretty well glued. I'm going to move this cutting board because I don't want to get it all gluey. Gluey. All right, so let's go back to our prompt list. So I'd say that I've made my pods for sure. I like my pods. What else have I got? Cracked, light, one color, water thin, dots, crevice, drip, separated, and square. Well, we're not going to use square, and we're probably not going to use cracked because those two things would definitely be linear. And remember when I'm talking about keeping it curvy, right? Keeping it all curvy. So how about we use some watery medium, something very fluid here to fill in some of this white space that we don't need and make it really kind of watercolory effect. That one's got places that aren't glued too. Dang it. Didn't do a very good job. I was too busy thinking ahead and I wasn't thinking about the quality of gluing these things, which needs to be definitely glued. Okay, so I still want to stick with my tetrad, and I want to use those colors that are, what happened to it? Everything gets lost. Yellow greens, blue violets, red violets, and yellow oranges. So let's look for some colors that would qualify as those colors. And we want to go fluid, so let's find, here, let's go with orange and pink and blue. Let's look for these type of colors. Green. I don't really have a violet though. Not in this. Probably going to need some white. Do I have any type of violet? Oh, magenta. Huh. There we go. Duh. So these colors are already fluid, right? So no. Why are you finishing your list before the end of the month? Well, I'm trying to finish before the end of the month. I don't know that it's really going to happen, but that's the reason I gotta put them all together because I was gone for a week basically. I took a week off. You guys missed me. I had one video yesterday, but all the rest of the time since the last live stream, I wasn't making videos at all. So, all right. What should we do here? I want to, what do I want? I think I want orange, a little bit of this. This is Abstract Acrylic Ink from Sennelier, and it is cadmium red hue, and I'm going to mix that a little bit with this bright pink color. It's going to be around in there somewhere in this magenta color. Then over here on this side, I'm going to bring in some cool colors. This light sky blue type color and this yellow green, which is definitely something I want. Put those two there. We'll see what we can get with some real watery, loose effects. That's what I want. So let's get a wet brush and see what we can get out of this. I wished I had some water in a cup that was a little bit closer than clear over there, but I don't. These acrylic inks are really fun. They really give some awesome effects, I think. I don't know if I'm going to get this piece done by the end of today. We'll just see how far I can get. Because I want to make it interesting. I don't want to just rush through it like crazy, you know. I have a little bit of this orange over here too. I want my art to go around the edges because this type of canvas, I just hang them up on the wall. I sold last week's, so I can't hang it on the wall anymore. But it was fun while it was there. I am using a watercolor brush too. This isn't one of my very expensive ones, but it does have that that type of bristle, so I can be really watery. All right, let's see about this green. How I can bring that in. This is definitely a yellow green. Ah! What are you guys doing sticking to me? Gonna need to get out some more of that blue. It's almost dried up. Am I missing anything? Oh, hi, Ingrid. Welcome, welcome. It's a good thing everybody else greets everybody else because it's hard for me to look at so many things at once. Blendy, 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 blendy. I want you to be watery, watery, watery. Watery. No, let's go for solid blue in there. Okay. I need to put a little bit of this blue right here. Connect that together. And get some water and really water that out. Blend, blend, blend. And then we're going to get some of this. And we're going to need to clean the brush really well because we don't want to make nasty muddy colors. But I do want to bring in some of this orange. and get those two blending without too much fuss. Fun so far. I can see that you edges do not want to. I find that very rude. Some of these edges on the edges are coming up. I'm going to have to glue them down. All right, then let's just go back over here and clean this brush. And we'll get some of this green color again because it's all dried up. See how little I'm using? This stuff goes a long way when you get the quality paint, you get the quality results. You have to barely use any. Just a drop. So this stuff is going to last me forever. For sure. Okay, that's a pretty good background, I think. What do you guys think? I think that's gonna be enough watery effects. So we're gonna get rid of water and have to start thinking about lights and darks. These are acrylic inks, Becky. They're Abstract brand Sennelier acrylic ink. Most of these are. You can get these on Dick Blick, or maybe it's Jerry's Artarama, one of those. And then I also had one which didn't really come into play much, which is a Matisse brand. And I do have some India ink as well that I'm going to probably use. I've really been getting into acrylic ink lately. It's similar to fluid acrylic. I'm not sure. You know, it's just a little bit more fluid. Has a lot of pigment in it. So it just takes a drop. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. This is just the first layer. And let's see what else we can do. Let's talk about the light and the dark, right? If you're going to have light, which is one of these prompts, then you're going to have dark too. So let's start with light. I'm going to use some white. And let's think about, and this is India ink, by the way. This is not acrylic ink. It's a different process of forming it. So it has a different type of binder. It's not a plasticky binder. It's something else. And I should know what it is because I thought about it and learned about it before, but I can't think of what it is right now. I don't know if it's gum Arabic. I don't know. Anyway, where's the light coming from on this piece? Where do we want the light to come from? Because the highlights are going to be where the light is, right? So generally, just because it's the way I think, I bring the light in from up here. I think about this light shining in and going across. So then I believe that all my highlights are on one side, because that's the way I think, but that's just me. So I'm going to start lightening up some areas over here, and I'm going to bring a beam of light. I'm going to need more ink than that. I can already tell. The India ink is almost always very opaque. So if you want to have any translucency with it, you need to water it. So I'm putting some water in with it. And then I'm probably just going to use my finger to blend a little bit. So if it's coming in there and going across, it's probably hitting right here. And maybe there's a little bit of light in between these two areas. Maybe. Just lighten that up a little bit. Maybe it's definitely going to hit right here. Seem to be getting a weird color here. And maybe I've just got some across here. Just a little bit. I want that light to come in. I want it to definitely show where there should be light. Need another drop. So see, I'm starting to bring in a beam of light across the piece. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just talking nonsense. It's a good possibility. And depending on how you put lights and darks, you might really be able to make things look dimensional, which is always fun if it looks like you could almost touch it, you know. Getting weird fuzzy bits. And I don't even have a cat. They're talking about cats in the chat, I noticed. But my dog brings fuzzy bits. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We got some lights, right? Do you think I should intensify them, or do you think that's good enough? So the reason that I like to use India inks and acrylic inks and things like that is because they're permanent when they're dry. So I can continue to put more layers on, which I am going to do. I do plan to do more layers. I want to use some of these really organic stencils and bring some more light in that way, because I really like these. I think they're so fascinating. I might actually use acrylic paint instead of the India ink for this, because it's easier to stencil with acrylic paint. And I think I'm going to use a brush. So I really just love these very organic things like this. Some days I wish this one was a stencil instead of a mask, though. That's the only thing. That just looks so cool. And if you need to blend out the edges, you can do it with a little bit of wet, slightly wet baby wipe. These things are cool, these stencils. Stencil Girl stencils, of course. I think these were designed by Trish McKinney, maybe. I think I'm ready to make stencils myself. I'm going to come up with a few designs, I think. You guys see that? It's subtle, but it's interesting. And then you can come back in with the same colors that you used before. With some more organic stencils if you want. The problem with these particular stencils is that they get stuck to each other. They're hard to store, but such cool stencils. I think I'm going to use a little bit of this color again. And I can do it with this same brush. I don't have to change. And I can just, what do I want to use? What part do I want to use? Maybe up here. Let's make an interesting organic background. So cool. Put on a little bit of that blue. Well, that was fun. What else do I want to do? Kind of doing everything in a different order than I would normally do it, kind of. I'm just doing what I feel like doing, and it's different. All right, now I want to get some deeper colors. So I'm going to go, I guess, for some more acrylic ink. And I want none of those. I'm looking in the bucket here. Okay, that's cool. Maybe. I don't know, that one might be too dark. Maybe. 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 Let's find out. What colors do I want? Probably not that one. This one is a great color. Hello, Nash. Welcome. Get a little bit of water on it, and then let's just go in with a little bit of dark. Darker than the other color. And then I can take one of my stencils and, if it'll unattach itself. And where is my, here we go. And I can blend that back and make it fit by just pouncing off some of it. And then it gives me that shadowy area. I think I'm going to mix this with a little bit of this other color, which is called Nightfall. This one is Matisse brand turquoise. And this one is Matisse brand Nightfall, which is like a Payne's gray. Ooh, it doesn't want to open. Ugh. And I think that would be very pretty. I can get those two to blend nicely. So I don't know if I want to go quite as dark as the Nightfall. It is dark. Different brush. Let's go real small and get this blended. Some water. Still doing the watery effect. I don't want to mess it up. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. But I do want to blend it though still with some of these lines. Haha, that's cool. Having fun. I'm running out of time at a rapid pace, aren't I? It's bound to happen. I can't let you out right now. That's the reason that I didn't want you in here. My dog is scratching the door. She wants out. She thinks I'm her slave. Probably am. I definitely do not think this piece is going to be done by the end of time today. I'm not sure what to do about that. Continue on later and post it later, or I don't know. Because this is very intuitive. It's not like I had a plan. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Brushes? Oh, the makeup brushes, yeah. I got mine from Amazon, and they're on my Amazon store if you'd like to support me. I think they might have singles at the dollar store, maybe. Just like, you know, one brush, not a pack. The ones I bought have different sizes in a pack. And I couldn't say that that's better, particularly. It's just how they were. There's a lady who has a shop in, I guess it's probably in St. Louis, maybe. That's called Ephemera Paducah, so maybe it's in Paducah. But she's introduced a bunch of people that you might watch online to those brushes. She calls it the life-changing brush. She sells it at her store. I thought that was kind of funny. Didn't change my life, but you know, whatever. But they are handy. It's cool how that went into those lines up there. I enjoy that. That's cool. Let's do some more of that. What are you doing, Mika? What are you doing? You need to not bug Mommy when she's working. Little twerp. I think I'm running out of ink here. A little bit. All right, we'll probably do that some more, but that's fun. But let's move on to something else. So I think we've covered thin. I think we've covered light. Let's go for dots. Dots are fun. And I got a couple stencils that I think will be great. Like this one is just perfect for right here. The question is, what color do I want it to be? Huh, that's a good question. How about orangey red? So far we haven't used any black. Got some poppy and some of this orange color. And I need another stencil brush, something very small. Maybe this one. Let's mix these colors together. See what we get. Make some dots. A bit of red, a little bit of orange to make a red orange. Why not? These look like coffee beans. It's kind of funny. All right, that was kind of messy, but I can clean it up later. I'm going to put some on this too. Got too much ink on the brush. Probably acrylic ink, not the best choice for stenciling really, because it's going to go under the stencil because it's so fluid. But that is an interesting shape and I like it. I like it. All right. Let's get that brush in the water. Let's get this cleaned off. And I think I'm going to put some more of this shape, maybe this curvy shape elsewhere. Maybe over here might be cool. With some sort of color, but I don't know which one. Let's get a sponge. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. That made me happy. Let's clean it up so I can flip it over. I have to dry it. A little bit of that over here too. That's fun. All right, so we got dots. Dots. Whoa. I don't know what happened to my pin to cross them off with. I'll just use a pencil. Ooh, drip. We should do some dripping for sure. See if I can get some dripping going along here in a nice pattern. Acrylic ink's great for dripping, I'll tell you that. See if I can get it to drip where I want it to. That's the only trick with dripping. Sometimes it doesn't want to go where you want it to go. But let's get a little water, start some dripping here. And if you don't like it, you can just blot it. That's pretty fun. It's getting a little bit out of control down here. All right, let's drip right here. See if we can get it to go down that way. Ooh, that's fun. What else do I want? Do I want any more dripping? Maybe? And get some to drip down that way. Barbara, on my channel, under every single video, there's a link. It says Amazon store affiliate link. So, and I can pop one in. Actually, you know, on this video there is one too, because I know that we put them in there. So below the video, there'll be Peg's link and there'll be my link. You can choose. But it goes to my directly to my affiliate store, which I also often put direct links to products that I'm using under my videos too, under my video. But there's one that just goes to a store that's my store. You'll see my face and my logo on there, and then you know you're in the right place. And then anything you purchase on Amazon, if you've gotten to my store from that link, anything that you purchase, even if it's, you know, your dog food or whatever, it doesn't matter whether you go through the store. The store is just generic, you know. It's more of like a generic link, and then the direct links take you directly to the products. But since I haven't posted this video, I haven't been able to put any direct links in. I might could do it later, but right now you could just go to the store. So I know I have those makeup brushes on there. And even if you can't find my exact one, if you go through the link, you'll be able to go find them and I'll still get credit. Does that make sense? It's just helpful. It gives me a couple cents on each purchase. This is looking pretty cool, I must say. I like it. I think that's a lot of fun dripping too. I think I'm going to need to dry it. Now there's going to be pen work. It's going to bring out some of these interesting shapes. And I might do a little bit more stenciling maybe. But I know for sure I'm going to do pen work. I've only got 15 minutes left on the show, so I'm not sure how much I can get done. If I can get some of this dry, I can start the pen work. Or maybe crayons. I don't know. Make that right there. Let's clean that up a little bit. Come on, dry up faster. It's taking me so long. Actually, I think this might need a little texture maybe. I might do some texturing through a stencil, perhaps. Or something like that. I don't know. It still needs more, but it's looking pretty good. It's probably not going to change a whole lot, but it will change. My paper's bubbling because I got it too wet with the acrylic ink. So I'm going to press it back down. This is definitely my kind of color palette. You guys see this kind of color palette from me a lot. I'm definitely going to need to glue my papers down on the edges. It's getting pretty good. All right, so what do I want to do? I think I want to use some white first. Where's my white pen? Here we go. Shake it up real good. When you use a Posca pen, you need to shake it, shake it, shake it. Thank you, Sybil. Come on, pen. Make sure it's good and juicy before you start, because you'll get frustrated if you don't. And I just want to bring out these interesting shapes here. I like the way they look, but they're kind of, you know, they didn't quite get the oomph that they deserved because I was stenciling with acrylic ink and I went under the stencils too much. I think this pen is getting close to the bin. This one's about out of ink. But good to the last drop. Maybe these are clams. They kind of look like clams instead of coffee beans. I don't know. Whatever they are, they're interesting. Interesting organic shape. And I like it. I like that. And then I can go in and add some of my own shapes, like maybe I want to add something along here, along this line. Maybe it's dots, getting wider. If you guys are having problems with a Posca pen jumping and making a splat when you don't intend it to do that, you're probably pressing too hard. You need to give this a very light touch. Very light. I think I'm going to bring out some of these over here too, because they were there. They seem to have really blended in, made themselves impossible to see. They are there. But you can see this pen work is going to take some time, and I'm not going to be able to finish it within the next 10 minutes. But I'll just do as much as I can so that you can see what my plans are for this piece. I think I want those dots to come out. Get a little bit of dot to come out down here a little bit, and to go up here to the top. To the top, to the top. You're never going to stop. This shape got completely obliterated. There was a piece of collage there. So sometimes when you're messing around with acrylic pen ink, you can blend it. Come on. With a water brush. So like right here, I want that white on there, but I don't want it to be quite, you know, a line per se. So I can blend it out on one side or both sides using the water. And it becomes much more ethereal if you do that. Something I enjoy doing. And I could even do it on the other side where this one is coming down. You could blend that out a little bit. You could really get an idea where this line is. Like you do. Because there's an edge to the paper. I know it's hard to see. Whoops. But there's an edge there. Let's see what a difference that makes. It really does. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget. You can also leave a comment below. Something to do with this will come out on my other channel eventually. Finishing it probably up a little bit. And you can look at it there too if you want to. A speedier version than this. But I'm just about done for today. So I'm glad you all came and played around with me today. And I'm glad you guys have been enjoying my little abstract month. I really just had to do it. I was like, guys, do you want to do abstract month? Sure, why not? Had to be done. And I hope you've learned a little bit about abstract art and you want to do it yourself if you weren't already doing it. Because I think it's fascinating. Probably going to need some more these shapes highlighted. What are we at? Does anybody have any questions in the next 6 minutes about anything that I've covered today? Bye-bye, Sandy. Barbara, you can do all the prompts in one piece if you want to. You can do whatever you want. Prompts are just there to give you some inspiration to do something, and I don't care what it is. Do something, share it in the group. That's what I care about. Thank you, Marie. I'll be here next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Don't know if Peg will be here or not. Just depends on how fast they get her internet back now that she has power. Let's see if anyone else has a question. I'll make sure I don't miss anybody. Yes, Shel, I'm on Instagram. It's at Paper Octio Studio. PAPEROCTILLO Studio. Can't even spell it myself. I don't know how I expect anyone else to spell it. And that's the other part of my channel name. That's also my email address. So you can find me there. You can find me on the evil Facebook at Shel C. Oh, this piece is a lot of fun, but I got a long way to go. An ocotillo is a plant that lives where I live. It's like it's a spiky, very tall plant that grows. It grows from the base, I guess is how you want to say it. So it just goes, it starts at the base, and then there's just all these straight things coming up. And I love the plant. I think it's so cool. And then in the springtime, it has red flowers. And it doesn't have branches, like it doesn't have a stem that goes to branches. It's just got stems. So the stems come from the bottom of the plant and go all the way up. And then the leaves grow all along it. It's a weird, different, interesting plant, not like anything else you would see. So I love to play with paper. I work with paper and collage the most. And I like ocotillos, and I see one out my window, so that's where Paper Octio comes from. I think this needs to have some of those interesting branches coming off of it that I had going on, because I think they're fascinating. They almost look like veins. This could be taken as organs and veins. That's kind of creepy. Wasn't my intention, but it's still cool. I don't know. This is a fun piece. Yay! I'm glad you're going to go do some prompts together. It'll be fun. I think that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Yeah.